Exclusive.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final boy and girl, Alex and Emily, coming at you in a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. This is a special episode that will not be following our normal structure, as this is going to be another YouTube exclusive. As our episodes generally focus on a single movie, today we're going to talk about all of the Prom Night movies. We're going to rank the movies, rank the killers, and we're going to rank our favorite death scenes. So as we just released an in-depth episode covering the first movie in the series, we're not going to focus too much on that one. So Emily, how about you kick us off and read the back of the boxes for films 2 through 4 so we can put out a little context.
Okay, so part 2. And I'll read this and then we can talk about it just a little bit. So, you can't keep a bad girl down. Beautiful and innocent Vicky Carpenter seems a shoo-in for prom queen, but Mary Lou Maloney, dead for 30 years, also wants the crown and returns from the grave to possess Vicky's body. After tormenting and brutally butchering Vicky's friends, Mary Lou successfully transports panic-stricken Vicky into a hellish purgatory. With the competition out of the way, hell-bent and armed with deadly powers, Mary Lou's got places to go, people to kill, and a crown to win. 1987?
Yeah.
So what'd you think of this one? Real quick.
I mean, it's my favorite in the whole series. It's got everything. It's I don't know. It's like taking an homage of other horror movies and other creators. You know, that people call it Carrie on Elm Street. It's got a lot of queer aspect to it that I love.
Carrie on Elm Street is a really good descriptor for it.
Yeah, I mean, and they try to make this one. This is definitely sort of serious, a supernatural slasher with some serious energy going on with it. A lot of surreal kind of dreams, and again, you know, some weird sexual undertone throughout the movies. I love it. It's pure 80s cheese, but also that Freddy Krueger dreamlike. Anyway, what about you?
What do you rank it? I mean, not rank it. I'm sorry. What do you rate it?
I'll give it
in the rankings later.
I'll get it a 4 out of 5 stars.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's huge. I love it.
It is not my favorite in the series, but and like I said, I had problems getting through it, and it wasn't really because of the content. I just kept getting lost because I was like half paying attention. So, But that I mean, that's a sign that it's not my favorite because it didn't really hold my attention as much. So I'd probably give it like a 2.5 out of 5. Because I don't think I gave Prom Night I think I probably gave it like a 3.5 or something like that. I can't remember. But and I don't think it's as good as the first one. So I'll move on to part 3, The Last Kiss, if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
30 years ago, prom queen Mary Lou Maloney died in a fire at Hamilton High, but this hot tomato just won't stay dead. I'm sorry. She's come back for some fun. She falls in love with a handsome hunk, Alex, and suddenly the boy is earning straight A's and scoring for the football team, as well as with the love-struck Mary Lou. But Mary Lou's magic turns to murder when anyone can get in her way. As the body count grows, Alex is no longer sure he can handle this vicious vixen, but there is no escape, as Alex learns when he dares to resist Mary Lou's hot lips. 1989. There we go. It was like really small on this thing. Your thoughts on this one?
I like this one. I do like this one still. You know, it's the only one basically that's a direct sequel. These are the only two that connect holistically. Yeah. I mean, they all have the quote, "It's not who you come with, it's who takes you home." Mm-hmm. And then I think Brock Simpson is an actor. He's in all 4 of them as different characters. But that's the only connecting factors of these movies, except for these two. Like, so I really like how they are together.
It's random. It's kind of random, yeah.
Yeah, and this one though, it's a lot more. It's less serious, and it's got more comedy, and they're trying to put more on Mary Lou as she gets, you know, I don't know, a little one-linery and a little
more Freddy.
Yeah. I think that they really were going that route.
I do too, because I feel like this one has a lot of similarities to part 2 of Nightmare on Elm Street as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going. Well, yeah, they really could have done more with Mary Lou Maloney, I think, and I don't know what. We'll get to it, but like why they just chose this fourth one to like totally
like abandon that.
Yes, it made no sense to me. But I this one has really a lot of fun kills for me.
This one's really fun. The comedy, it's well placed, I think.
Yeah, and I like and growing up, this is the one. I guess the second one as well, but this one more so because the man on the cover. I was always drawn to this cover because it has this hot guy on a motorcycle with her in his dress kicking her legs all up. Like I was just
also I love the main guy.
Oh yeah, he's great. I mean, this is a fun movie.
And I like the girlfriend that like his other girlfriend, his real girlfriend, like his real life girl, not real life, but you know, the one that's not dead. But I think that he's like a final boy kind of in this. So
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and that was another. I mean, it was sort of because the girl, I guess her name was Sarah, right? At the very end. Yeah. So you think she's a final girl because he's sort of the killer, sort of not, because he's kind of being possessed, but kind of not, or whatever. But I think he's more just being. It's kind of like a Candyman situation where she's coming in and doing stuff and he's getting blamed, which that usually bothers me in movies because it makes me really anxious. But in this movie, I didn't mind it. Well, and he was like covering up the scene sometimes and like wasn't he like burying some bodies? And
well, he had to.
Yeah.
I mean, because he knew that like he was going to be blamed, because how are they going to believe it's this like ghost?
Yeah. It was a good one. I enjoyed that one as well. So I thought that they did well with 2 to 3.
I agree. So what do you rate that one out of 5?
Probably a 3 to a 3.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 3. I like it more than the second one. Actually, yeah, I think I'm going to give it like a 3.25.
Gotcha.
So I'll move on to part 4, which, once again, this really doesn't make sense that they completely, maybe they thought, I guess it wasn't doing well, or the Mary Lou Maloney wasn't doing well. So they were like, let's go back to like the more seriousness of the first one, even though it has nothing to do with the first one. But
I will say that I liked Mary Lou, the character and the actress, in the second one more than the third one.
I liked her more.
I wish they would have stuck with her at least, because she was giving off more 90s vibes, and the Mary Lou in 2 was giving off more mid 80s vibes to me. I just didn't.
Yeah, I think I just thought that the one in the third one was prettier. So.
Oh my God.
Well, she is. Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, the back of the box. A maniacal killer stalks 2 young couples on the night of their prom in this 4th installment of the hit Prom Night series. I don't know if I'd go that far, but after 33 years in captivity, a possessed man who is evil beyond imagination escapes and makes his way to a monastery he knows from his youth. But it is now a summer home where 4 teens are celebrating prom night in their own special way. The kids intended to make this an evening to remember. Their uninvited guest turns it into a night of unspeakable terror that you'll never forget. 1992. What did you think about this one?
I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I don't know why they tried to go serious again.
The killer is ridiculous.
Like, yeah,
and isn't the actor that plays the possessed? I mean, I guess he was a priest, or what? Yeah, he was a priest coming back because he had been possessed. Isn't that played by the kid from the first, like the one that's in all 4 of them?
Yeah, Father Colin.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Brock Simpson is the guy's name. It's in all 4. He plays, I think, young Nick in the first one.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, keeping this drugged
Father
up.
Yeager. Wait, no, is that his name?
No, Father Colin is Brock Simpson.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Yeager or Father Colin that wakes up, but Brock Simpson plays Father Colin. I just know that. I got a little confused. There was a lot of walking down the monastery.
I thought it was Jonas. Yeah, Colin.
Jonas is the
catatonic one.
Right. He's the one chained up and tied up and drugged up and starts killing people for no reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of too long of people just walking around this monastery.
My God,
like
too long of them like doing nothing at the house.
Nothing at the house. Like
there's no party.
Yeah, they go like they're. I mean, so they kind of hide away. They go to this. They ditch the prom and go to this like lake house or something. And that's where the Father Jonas is like hiding out or whatever. But like super boring. There's too many plot holes. I just couldn't get past it. And again, the killer sucked. He bored me, and there weren't really any fun deaths. It was all just like throat slit, stabbed. It was a typical boring slasher. I say boring slasher only from the standpoint of the other movies have shown us what they can do. And
even though I wouldn't. I think another reason this is kind of a YouTube exclusive is because part 2 and 3 they have slasher elements, but there's a lot of like this supernatural stuff. So
yeah, I'd say they're just as much a slasher as like Night of the Demons.
I think the fourth one is more of a straight up slasher than the others.
Oh well, yeah, because there's a supernatural element to it.
One,
other than the Virgin Mary,
and he's possessed or whatever. But like I remembered liking this one the most, and then when I rewatched it, I was like, this sucks. Like nothing is happening at all the whole time.
Yeah.
But there we have the sexual abuse from priests. So there was an early reference to like priests diddling boys.
Yeah, I guess all well, at least the final 3 of these movies all sort of have this weird sexual undertone and message based, whether it be like the Prom Night 2 or 3, she's like, this is a free country, and right then it's like going on, like I can do whatever I want, and that's like going on when the AIDS is really rampant, and so like it's like a little poke at that, and then this is a poke at like Catholicism. And
all of them have all the sequels have this have this I guess like Catholic theme, which is not present in the first one, which there's nothing present in these except for that one actor that makes any sense for the whole, like, to be in a series.
Right. And yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre.
I can't think there are a few other, there aren't many, but there are a few other series that like where they just tacked on the name because it would make money. Like I guess Troll 2, they tacked on the name and it had nothing to do with the first one. But this was like, this is one of the big ones that stands out to me where it's just like, why?
Right. Right, but if they had changed the name,
well, they were told to. They had to add that on. That was not the original.
Right, it was like a haunting of something high school or something.
Yeah, it was not supposed to have anything to do with Prom Night, but they wanted to capitalize on Prom Night. And I can't remember what the other big one is that does that.
We'll think about it. But I don't know that we would have had the success with Prom Night 2 that we do have, like the cult kind of success that it had a different name, because I don't know that people would have really seen it otherwise.
I don't know. Yeah. So what do you rate part 4?
Half a star, half.
Oh my God! And you were rating Blood Sisters and like Blood Tracks. I was giving them like half a star. I think I said in Sorority House Massacre, if I didn't have any nostalgia with it, I wouldn't give it a star. Which going back compared to Blood Tracks and Blood Sisters, I would give it more of a star than that. But I would give it only because it has one good kill in my opinion, and the production's okay, and whatever. I'll give it like a 1.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't watch it again. I don't. Well, I might watch it again if I was doing like a marathon of the movies, but
I think this is probably the lowest rated movie I've ever done on our podcast.
No, it definitely is.
I was miserably bored. 92 was not a good year, I don't think.
Well, yeah, and this is another thing that we don't really rate. We don't go into movies from, which I guess we will end up doing that on one more movie that I know of.
Yeah.
In the future, but usually we don't rate 90s movies, but
yeah,
whatever. So okay, you want to give your rankings of the movies, so you include Prom Night 1.
Yeah, so I'll just go 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
So and if you're living on this planet it's no shock to anyone right now that Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, is the worst for me.
Or if you were not living on this planet, but if you were listening to this podcast at all.
Well, that's true too. I mean, I've been tweeting about this movie. I've been all up in arms about how I hate this movie.
I gotta read your Letterboxd reviews. Yes. When you did the blood cult one.
Is that when I just wrote why?
It just said why.
My Letterboxd review for Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, said Prom Night more like Catholic church night. Yawn.
Which actually makes it seem a little more interesting than just the word why. But I mean, would you rather watch this or Blood Cult? I think I'd rather watch Blood Cult for the scene with the with the trash can.
Yeah. Oh my God.
With the salad fingers in the trash can.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, there were some funny scenes in that movie. So yeah, definitely. Then part 3. Number 3. I'm ranking part 3, The Last Kiss, and that doesn't mean I dislike it. I mean, there has to be a third place. I really liked part 3.
Yeah.
Just not as much as I liked part 1, which is my number 2. I like part 1 because it is iconic. I say it started the franchise, but like these aren't connected, so it's like hard to even say it started this, but it did start the franchise.
Also Paul Zaza, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he did the music for all of them, which I think interesting.
Oh yeah, I love the first movie's music anyway.
Well, in the second one, it's just in the third one, it's like, well, did he just like get the oldies?
Oh, I know. Oh, right. The Soda Shop music.
I guess just the score, I guess.
But yeah, Prom Night 1 is number 2 for me. But Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, it rhymes. It's number 1. It's perfect. I just love, and they have characters. They have Mr. Craven. They have Vicky Carpenter.
I like how you just said they have characters.
Well, the characters' names, Mr. Craven,
I know.
Vicky Carpenter, Mr. Romero, and then, the homoerotic locker room scenes, like, that kind of parodies or goes along with Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Mary Lou Maloney is just an iconic queen, and I'm here for it. So yeah, that's my rankings.
And then Prom Night 1 is your number 1. I mean, sorry, Prom Night 2. Sorry.
Yeah, Prom Night 2.
Okay, mine would be. I just have one switched. 4 would be Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. Then 3 would be Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. And then and then Prom Night 3 would be next. And then the original would be number.
Oh wow. I'm surprised. I wouldn't have expected you to put the original as your favorite.
Well, I mean, I didn't really. For me, this series is slim pickings. So, I mean, it's still not a raving review for any of them, in my opinion. But I mean, it's fun enough. Like, it was more fun than I had remembered it. Like I said, the original Prom Night and the podcast we did on Prom Night, it surprised me how much I liked it because I didn't like it before. So.
Yeah, and I actually had just talked to a friend, and I'd seen that we have a lot of the similar ratings on obscure horror movies, and he'd rated Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2 1.5 stars, and I was like, we've been talking about books and movies for a little bit today, but like I just want to let you know I'm really offended. And he was like, and he had no review. He didn't even write a review.
I thought you were about to say he has no right.
You have
no right to have that.
No, you can have that right. But usually he writes reviews, like really in-depth analysis on why he does and doesn't love a certain movie on his Letterboxd. He has great reviews, and he wrote nothing. And I was like, shit, it didn't even get you a review. Was it that terrible? So he rewatched it and he changed his rating to a 4 and loved it. But anyway, so I swayed somebody to love this movie.
Okay, so what are your favorite kill? I mean, well, this is gonna be obvious. 2 are your top 3 killers, 3 to 1. I mean, I can guess on this, but go ahead. Yeah. Why don't I just guess? It's Father whatever his name is.
See, at least I know his name.
Father Jonas.
Father Joyce. That's like sister brothers.
Father Jonas, right?
Yeah, he's my number 3. I mean, the knife-tipped crucifix is kind of cool, but he's the lamest killer in the world. And
then Alex.
Yeah, I was gonna have him as number 1, to be honest. I did switch him around, and and he still might be my number one. I don't really know. My favorite kills come from Mary Lou, but then I was really sympathetic and I felt bad for Alex and their whole situation and the whole story with him and Kim. And, you really feel sympathy for him.
Robin?
Well, Kim and Robin. And Kim, yeah. I mean, all three of them, their whole story. And I don't know. He can't swing an axe to save his life, but I do feel bad for him. So,
and it was dull.
You know what? He's still my number two. Sorry, sympathy doesn't get you anywhere with me, so he's still my number two. Number one is Mary Lou because she, again, an iconic queen.
All right. Well, I guess you can probably guess what mine are. I'm gonna pop this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess yours is number 3 is Father Joyce.
Joyce, yes.
Number 2 is Mary Lou, and number 1 is Alex.
Yep. Got it.
Good.
You got it, dude.
You got it, dude.
But I hate myself for that. Just now.
I love you. I actually just posted a tweet today about, I was like, this is not related to horror movies, but I was like, nobody told me that Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland is on Amazon Prime. Nobody. And I posted the GIF that said, how rude. So, I mean, how random that I love horror, but then I'm wanting to watch Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland.
Yeah, I don't really know what your problem is right now. But okay. Okay, your favorite kill's 5-1.
Okay. So number 5, I've got Mr. Walker from Prom Night 3.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so she's coming at him in whatever, I guess the ice cream shop or
that's really fun.
I don't know where it is.
Weird. I like it. It's in the science lab, I think.
Yeah, I was like, but she stabs his hands with sharp waffle ice cream cones, and then she drills him in the face with an electric mixer. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Number 4, I put Josh from Prom Night 2 when he's electrocuted through the computer. I just thought the graphics were like super cheesy and terrible. Yeah. Like, it looks like this is probably saying.
It reminded me of that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark when that
oh my God.
Like the guy he hacks the computer game and that little person comes out as like a monster. It's so stupid, but that's what the graphics looked like to me. Actually, those graphics were better, which isn't saying much, but they're both from Canada.
And it looked like Power Rangers when they're morphing.
Yeah.
Like with those lightning bolts and stuff. So, number 3, I got Miss Richards from Prom Night 3. She's a bitch and she totally deserved it. She was just such a see you next Tuesday. And I didn't like her Edna Mode vibes. Like, I like Edna Mode from the movies, The Incredibles, but I didn't like her as Miss Richards here. But yeah, she gets sits down in it looks like a hair dryer, like a old 50s hair dryer thing or something, like a trap. And then they just pour battery acid that looks like brown clay mud or whatever all over her, but rips her face to shreds.
Yep.
That was good. Number 2, I have Lou Farmer from the original Prom Night. I love the flashing lights.
Ours are so similar. Oh my God. Okay.
Electric Boogaloo going on here with the decapitation, the flashing catwalk on the axe, or no, the flashing lights. Lights. Yes. We'll have to do a Kanye song with that. We talked about, even though it was really his head through a hole in the floor, it was still
it was really cool, especially for 1980.
Yeah. Yeah. And then fucking yeah.
Oh my God. Fucking yeah.
So number 1, I put Mary Lou Maloney. I thought it was really cool when she, it's no secret I love Stephen King and I love Carrie, so this is a great nod to that. And it's a prank that they're pulling on her boyfriend because she was messing around with another man at the prom. So he gets up top and drops a stink bomb from the rafters, but the stink bomb just totally torches her dress and burns her all alive. So I thought that set in motion 2 whole movies. So
yeah.
What are yours?
Okay, my number 5 is, I did pick it from part 4. It's Laura when she's scalped with the knife tip crucifix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
that was a cool one. And then the only other thing about that was not cool, but shocked me at that whole movie is when they walk out and 2 of his friends are burning tied to a giant crucifix.
Yeah.
That shocked me, and that would have scared the hell out of me. So But yeah, anyway, sorry. What was your
So
fourth?
my 4 and 3 kind of tie, and it's Mr. Walker and Miss Richards. Same as yours. The hands impaled to the counter with ice cream cones, the electric mixer drilled through the face for Mr. Walker, and the drenched in battery acid for Miss Richards.
Yes.
So, my number 2 is Monica from the second one when she's compacted in the locker.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
The telekinesis and chart, like it doesn't even look like blood spilling out. It's just like
It shocked me. Yeah,
pink ooze.
I loved it. It was like it literally is like crushing a Coke can, and then boof, it was awesome.
Yeah. So I really like that. And then my number 1 is Lou Farmer.
Very good.
Decapitated with an axe. So yeah.
I have 2 honorable mentions that I wanted to share. One of the honorable mentions for Top Kill is that motherfucking dance floor in part 1. Jamie Lee Curtis slays the hell out of it and high kicks it to death in the face. So boom.
And my favorite, Nick throws his head back.
Oh my God, yes. I was actually, when I was listening to our episode the other day, I was walking around my house, literally just like I have Nest cams. I can pull up the footage, but I was just walking around my house doing high kicks.
I wish that I could do that right now, or throw my head back, and maybe that's why I liked it.
Yeah,
because I can't throw my head back right now.
You're walking around the house kind of like all the dead people in the very beginning of Mary Lou or Prom Night 3, where they're all like in purgatory hell prom or whatever.
Me.
Like
that's me right now, always, because I'm just listening to disco. So trying to throw my head back, and I can't.
And they're only doing the can or whatever with one leg because the other one's chained to the ground. We didn't really talk about the fact that she busts out of hell and like her grave and everything. Anyway, my last honorable mention is my soul. Rip. Because when the possessed unicorn looks at me and tries to kill me in Prom Night,
oh my God,
or possessed rocking horse, I want to call him a unicorn, but that was terrifying.
I know, it's really, really creepy, and I like, you can see it as silly, and it has like I think that people that really like Evil Dead 2 probably like this movie, honestly, because like I could totally see that rocking horse in Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
And Evil Dead 2 is not my thing. I don't understand it. And I know people love it, but like I saw it way too early. I saw it right after I watched the first Evil Dead. And so I was like 8 or 7, and I was like, why? I mean, I rented it because I liked Evil Dead, okay. And then I rented it, I was like, what's happening? Like, why is this is a sequel? Why are they doing it again and like just being like silly with it? So I never liked it.
It's
and so kind of like it just, and I'm not a big fan of Sam Raimi, and everyone knows that too. So
but the scene with the possessed,
but it reminds me a lot that horse does anyway.
Well, and the funny thing too, and so when you're getting like those vibes from it, I also like, I kind of, even though it was creepy and like it had snarling lips and red eyes and stuff, I would kind of also keep laughing because in the back of my mind, I just kept imagining this scene from a movie called Career Opportunities with Jennifer Connelly, where she's riding this little horsey like in a grocery store. One of those, she's just bouncing up and down on this little horsey, and it's so sexual and weird that I couldn't see this mean old horse and not think of her riding him. Is that the weirdest? Is that the weirdest thing?
Well, I hate Jennifer Connelly also.
God, you were just hating.
I do. I don't. We've talked about a lot of things I don't like. I don't like Jennifer Connelly. She's a bitch.
Oh my God.
I don't like Evil Dead 2. These are like unpopular opinions. So whatever. I don't really care. I think that in this special, we should give a shout out real quick, just because it had to do with the prom. And I think we should shout out someone on YouTube that posts the best comments and is awesome and listens to all of our podcasts on YouTube. And that person's name is Loved Diced Onions. I mean, Diced Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Love Diced Tomatoes. And they had a perfect idea that summed up all of like every backstory that we have in our lives.
Oh yeah, do you have that
that are in the podcast? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, I was crying.
It was so perfect. So we love you, Love Diced Tomatoes.
And I read that to my husband too, and he just started laughing so hard.
Okay, so this is what it says. If slashers ever make a comeback, which, they have, but somewhat anyway, I have a great idea for one loosely inspired by this movie, which was Prom Night. Wilson holds a... That's the guy that was in the yearbook photo the freshman year of our high school year. That was just a picture of Alex. It's so funny.
I know.
Poor Anna was just like, when it got to you, it was just like,
hey, I'm back.
It was just like zoomed in a little bit.
Guess who's back?
Sorry.
Back again.
Sorry. This is probably why we have one troll. And I realize why we have one troll is because when I listen, especially the Dark Power on half speed, we do sound like country fucks. Maybe this person is listening to us on half speed.
Oh my God.
Anyway, okay. Wilson holds a grudge against Alex over the fucked up yearbook picture, and at the 30-year class reunion, someone is slashing their way through everyone on the yearbook committee. You think it's Wilson until Alex, our final boy, unmasks the axe-wielding killer, and it's his best friend Emily. Still pissed off that Alex got second-degree burns on his face before prom. Shocking and sad. Also, there's a kick-ass scene with Alex and Emily burning up the dance floor, and Russell Todd is the principal, of course.
I would watch the shit out of that.
I would watch it so hard. I don't know who you are, love Diced Tomatoes, but we love you.
God, love Diced Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
Mary Lou, did the back of the box call her a hot tomato?
Oh yes.
Mary Lou, is that you?
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. That's where I had to stop because I was like, "What?" Let's see. Is it in the second one?
I thought it was the third one where you called it a hot tomato.
Yeah. Hold on, let me find it. So stupid. This hot tomato just won't stay dead. What does that even mean? What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I've never heard of anyone called. Well, I guess have you ever heard of anyone called a hot tomato?
No, I've heard of hot potato.
Yeah, I know, but that wouldn't be fitting for this description anyway. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's our kind of summary of the other movies and Prom Night.
Yeah, we aren't really going to talk about the remake.
Nope. Well, I'm not. We're
not. Nope. So that's it. So I'll just say, stay gagged on
hot potatoes, hot tomatoes,
hot fucking tomatoes. Oh God, stay gagged on everything. Stay gagged on the dance floor.
Stay gagged on ice cream cones that'll kill you.
Stay gagged on wooden crucifixes to the face.
I don't know. Stay gagged on adult acts. I think also I was listening to this one on Prom Night on half speed, and when I said glass shard, no, I was listening to you sent that to me. I was dying. Glass shard.
Yeah, that was
oh my God,
so funny. And then I was like, stay fucking gagged. People think that we're out of our minds, probably.
If you want to hear us sound like insane, well, we sound wasted and like we're from the butthole of seriously, I wouldn't say where we're from is the most progressive place or the greatest place to live, but it's I'm talking about Appalachian butthole city, where they don't they can't go to school because they can't get to school or something. That's what we sound like.
Yeah, listeners on half speed. Friend of mine accidentally did it too, and let me know. And I spent 3 hours listening to us on half speed, crying.
The Dark Power was my favorite one because we do a even more Southern accent in some parts of that one.
Oh, making fun of Earl
and Cletus, and also when I talk like Ranger Gerard, and I'm like, I'm talking about. I'm also talking
when he's
about,
trying to be drunk.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the background character that's like, hey, well, do anything. And it's like really slow. It sounds so dumb. So anyway, stay gagged on prom night.
Stay gagged on prom night, everybody.
You should go crash a high schooler's prom night.
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm sure there's some expo center somewhere where they're going to have one even through the pandemic because people are getting vaccinated. So, well, no, I guess they would have had it last month. Next year.
Next year we're crashing proms. We're going to make a movie called Prom Crashers.
It would be better than Wedding Crashers, I bet.
Let's stay gagged on that thought. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with another special YouTube exclusive.
Have a good prom night next year.
Bye.